I'm on a giant road trip visiting the shops of the Rocky Mountains. Bajío's been blowing up in the Rockies. Monster drive. Driving from Florida all the way to Idaho, stopping by shops and catching up with old friends. Excited because the Rockies is the holy land for the fly rod, where it truly is, in my opinion, the best tool to catch trout.
The fly rod is just built for trout.
We're going to do a lot of running around. We're going to visit a lot of shops, and we're going to visit some old friends.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Fishing with Jay.
The Rocky Mountains. Trout. Finally the right tool for the job. The fly rod.
I don't have a clue how many different sets of small mountain ranges make up the greater Rocky Mountain range, but I'm sure it's in the hundreds.
Without a doubt, to me, the Rockies is the basis of trout fishing. I mean, there is no other place, I could say, in the world that has the amount of cold water that the Rockies produce, which is home to our good friends, the trout.
And this is the best trout fishing in the country. Big water, big fish.
The Rockies is just an incredible place to own a fly rod and to get outside.
I've been like freaking fish like that bend there and that bend there. Intact ecosystems with elk and deer and wolves and wolverines and grizzly bears and black bears and cutthroat trout. And
lots of good trout, tons of bug life.
It's a great
easy access and ton of public land. You know, that's the best part.
Beautiful mountains, trails, good people. This attitude of don't mess with me, I won't mess with you kind of thing. A little bit of like cowboy spirit still, like as cliche as that sounds.
The Rocky Mountains, for me, they provide outdoor entertainment year-round.
Oh, come on. Are you serious?
Colorado.
That's just not fair. In the old hometown, one of the old hometowns, Fort Collins, Colorado, where the pig farm was born. This came out of Florida. It was 80 degrees when I left. And I came into this. Oh, the bus doesn't like that. Maybe the bus does. I'll try to wake up and get going.
Trout is by far the number one thing getting people into the whole sport. This is the spot that so many people learn to fly fish. Been moving from Texas to Florida. I've been sleeping in the office. I've been editing my face off. Editing is long hours and all the time. Whenever I'm not filming, I'm editing. The heel is popping off in the Rockies. So Al has this idea, and he tells me, why don't you head out there and see what's going on. I guess it's time for a migration.
Did he take the sound?
While I check on all my old friends and all the shops that have picked us up. We've got over 1,100 shops now.
Right?
Florida to the Rocky Mountains, blowing up in the Rockies.
The Rocky Mountains are world-class trout fishing.
Come on.
When it's springtime in the
All right, that's 19. That's so sweet.
I have a hard time wanting to like go trout fish anywhere else because it's so good here.
I mean, how do you not like trout?
I think you should pursue fishing however you love to do it. Fly fishing's been my choice, but I've also got a young child, and we dig worms and play that game as well.
Gonna see an old friend. Mr. Mark Crapo.
Oh, buddy.
Well, what is the best tool for catching a trout in the world, would you say?
I would say probably a worm under a bobber on a spinning rod. You know, I mean, if it's the best tool, you know, the best tool for me is a good fly rod, medium action, something I can feel, and something with enough love in it to lay those dry flies out, you know. I mean, that's deadly.
Dry fly fishing is like the holy grail of western trout fishing.
Yeah, found one.
I got one on the bamboo rod that Matt made. Come on.
Like, oh, it's dry fly time. Let's see if we can get one on the bamboo. We bamboozled him.
I don't know anybody that won't go dry fly fishing when that's fired.
Yeah.
With trout, there are tons of different ways, whether it's your technique or the style of equipment you're using, or the different types of bugs you're using, from dry flies to nymphs.
Green drakes, brown drakes, gray drakes. Those are primo examples of the classic dry fly fishing that can happen here.
You got your license?
Got the two different types of rivers, the freestones and the tailwaters, and there's definitely some differences in the technicalities of those. But particularly, we talk about this technical tailwater in Colorado. I mean, if I were to think of famous technical tailwaters, to me, a lot of them are in Colorado. You got to match the hatch, man. And I mean, the midges are in the water all the time. 22s, 24s, 26s. I mean, tiny bugs. So many different patterns. So many different sizes and selections that we have to work through to ultimately fool a trout.
Why are people so passionate about trout? What is so special about trout?
Just something fun to me about fishing bugs. Being able to imitate the actual food source that the fish are feeding on. Like cloudy day like this in the spring, they're probably eating blue wing olive mayflies or midges, and so you can imitate that effectively with a fly rod.
Trout live in pretty places. Look at this.
I've heard that before, yeah.
This is your home zone, man.
Yeah, I'd say this isn't too bad.
Places that we pursue trout in are places that we can find ourselves, dreaming about being.
Because Bajío's based in the south, and that's where I've been. And I've never lived there. Spent a lot of time in the tropics, but never lived there. And I got to thinking, why would I want to live anywhere else? And then I come back here, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Every place in this damn country is cool.
Right.
It's a special place, it's inside that Golden Ring. The Golden Ring is a 300-mile circle that encompasses Yellowstone at the epicenter, and Blue Ribbon trout fishery all the way around. And I think it's hard to beat.
Dude, look at that adipose, dude, all red. Big old blue cheek.
I don't have any desire to go somewhere else or do something else. I mean, there is just absolutely nothing like just feeding dry flies to rising fish from behind and just crossing their eyes. It's incredible.
So cool. Yeah, it just consistently fishes good around here. Generally, we catch plenty of fish, keep people happy or whatever. And the cool thing about where we're at, too, is our average size fish is a little bigger than a lot of places. Our average fish is like 16 or 17 inches. And it's not uncommon to catch 20-inch plus fish throughout the day on any given day. So, just kind of cool.
It's kind of like the trout stuff that I read about as a Washington boy. This is what it was, what I pictured in my head.
Yeah.
And you say it averages a little bit bigger, but every fish has been super, super healthy. This system is cranking.
The Rocky Mountains are just rad, Jay. That's what the Rocky Mountains are.
If you know where to go in the Rocky Mountains and maybe change elevations and stuff, you can have great fishing year-round. So much variation within the Rocky Mountains, even though it's pretty much all trout fishing in my mind. There's so much variation as you gain or lose elevation.
I could spend every day outside skiing, fishing, mountain biking, hiking, camping. All of those things, the Rocky Mountains are the ideal playground for that.
Come on, Nicholas. Come on, dude. Come on. Look at that.
That is hyped out.
That's my tube.
All the rivers start in the mountains of Colorado or Wyoming or Montana, Utah, whatever the Rocky Mountain state is. You've got all those high mountain alpine lake fishing opportunities where there again, if you're willing to put the effort in to get up into those spots, a lot less pressure. You're gonna have an easier time catching those fish. And then the headwater tributary streams, you know, that create the big rivers. And then you get out of the mountains into the valleys, into some of the big Rocky Mountain valleys. And that's where, to me, like, kind of the cool fishing is, you know. I mean, it's all cool, but that's kind of where I concentrate my efforts these days, just because, I don't know, I like fishing out of the boat. It's a real, like, good platform for being able to access a lot of water and try a lot of different stuff. So you got to kind of get out of the mountains to get into the valleys, to get into the bigger water that you can launch a boat on.
Yeah.
It's just so fun.
Oh, boy.
It's old.
Yes, sir.
Rocky Mountain stacked full of trout towns. No population, but 3 fly shops somehow. We're in Craig, Montana.
Over Montana, shine through the night. Rule over Montana, lend your silvery light while the herd is low. You're so near.
We're back. One of the greatest outdoorsmen this world has ever seen, Christopher Owens. We've seen the world together. Wildman Owens.
Yeah, cruising by a bar in Wolf Creek, Montana. I run into this short bus, the Bahio short bus, and all of a sudden, oh, Jay comes limping out of the bar, and oh, it's been a great reunion so far.
It's changed a lot since you started trout fishing.
Oh yeah, everything's changed. Technology. You know, look at compound bows. Remember the one off Rambo 2? Yeah, they don't look like that. Fly rods, lines, everything's lighter, faster. It has definitely changed a bunch. You know, we started using 9-foot, 7-weight taper leaders. But Jay was curious. He asked me how I'm rigging my leaders here. We're on the Missouri River, Montana. Tailwater rig up right here. We're using shrimp, but freshwater shrimp, these little scuds. Make a loop, go back over like this, and then this is my top bug, and I'm twisting it like this. Twisty, 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 twisty. And then I bring the bug up through the loop.
Oh.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Kind of snug down that top loop. Split it up. Shouldn't be showing everybody this, but that's called the drop loop right there, and it works great for perdigons. Works great for this cotton candy. And then on the bottom, here's another fly. One of my buddy's ties called the Jelly Belly. Okay. So this is called the Canoemans. You know the Canoemans, Jay. We use that knot forever. Still use it for trout fishing.
I did not think that was going to be something in trout fishing. Interesting.
It is one of the best loop knots. I mean, I haven't found a better loop knot for trout fishing than that Canoemans. Because you can shrink it down infinitely small, and it's the profile of it is, I mean, literally. I mean, look at this when you shrink it down.
Yeah, it's just jiggly.
It's nothing, you know. You snip it up tight. Yeah, so check that out. We've been using it for tarpon and everything else, but shit, that thing was made for trout fishing. This is where it gets kind of cool. Oh yeah, the tungsten putty. Oh.
What's this one?
Uni knot. Uni. 25-pound chameleon down to, or 20-pound down to, and this is the bobber slide right here. And then it goes to a tippet ring. And then this This is just 5-inch Qualtex party balloon. Tag ends the bobber stop. Run it up, and then off of that, whatever your depth is, 1.5 times the water depth, down to your barrel swivel. And then so this is 8 pound down to a barrel swivel with tungsten putty on it, and then 20 inches between your flies. But everyone's got a different way of rigging this shit, you know? This is just what I do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Here's the most important part of the rig up. Pancake, taco, roll. Pancake, taco, roll. Put it above the, you know what a barrel swivel is? Yeah, so you just put it above that. On that top loop, and then so the bottom of the barrel is exposed, so you can keep tying your tippet on. It's not the only way to catch a fish around here, but it's what I do. Whatever. Here's your leash. The leash is from the weight to the balloon. So right here, my wingspan's 5 feet. We're 5 feet, but let's bump it up to about 6.5. Boom, done.
What is an American Rocky Mountaineer?
American Rocky Mountaineer. Like a.
Who is that?
Who is that? It's somebody that I think enjoys being outside and values that like more than anything else, you know. And I think more and more are paying attention to what we can do to, you know, conserve our lands and our waters and keep them protected and open to the public. You know, that's a big fight that we're always fighting out here in the West, is continuing to keep our access. I'd say overall, people are nice.
Chip, I have a question for you.
For the king.
I got a question for you.
Score.
What would you do if you're king of the world?
King of the world? Oh, man. I wouldn't want to be king of the world, but if I was king of the world, I'd give the power back to the people. Stop all this corruption over money.
You'd make a good king.
I don't know. Or give it to somebody that was a lot smarter than me, but kind still. You know, you think about that, you're like, man, being the president, I would do this, I would do that. But man, that dude's got a lot on his shoulder.
It's been a long run. The Rocky Mountains is incredible. This is the old home turf. For about 10 years, I lived in Fort Collins, Colorado. This whole corridor of mountain range was our stomping ground.
Where do we find ourselves on the Beaverhead River? Lovely Rocky Mountain, Montana.
Yay! Oh, it's a better one. He's chubby.